to a lot of people, when they say I'm a big fan of Genesis, I go way back. They're talking about, you know, early 80s.
We decided to put a tape together between us with the aim of trying to get other people to do our songs. And as it was, nobody was really very interested in doing our songs, so we thought we'd have to do them ourselves.
He found himself with an accolade he'd not beheld before. Where are you, my father? Give wisdom to your son. Stand up and fight, for you know we are right. We must strike at the lies.
I was just wanting to play the drums, and I was a professional auditioner for the first couple of years of, you know, I was a professional musician amongst other semi-pro bands that they were doing your jobs, and I just didn't want to do anything else. But eventually I answered an advert for Genesis.
This is our deck drummer for the evening. We couldn't find anyone.
Gallagher.
Couldn't find a professional drummer, so this is what we got.
Yeah, it's a bit fast, isn't it, Phil? Faster, Phil, isn't it?
I'd heard their album, and I was interested in a certain kind of sound they had because I couldn't quite pin down what the instruments were when they were playing. They had this 12-string sound like 12 strings or harpsichords, and that was a Genesis trademark, and that was something that I was very much into.
First gig we set up in a row, 2 rows, 3 deep. It was ridiculous, you know. I had no idea what we were doing. But we actually got an encore our first gig, I mean, and it doesn't happen so much now. I mean, in those days, if you were a good live band, you could work hard and build up a following.
It wasn't really until Pete Gabriel started putting in quite so many costumes, and so we had the combined visual effect of lights and costumes and masks that really suddenly the presentation changed everything, and it elevated the band's performance to calling it theatre.
Flower. To look for butterflies, butterfly. Open your eyes, it's full of surprise. Everyone likes the possible loss. And the musical box. Yes! This mom and dad are getting back. Everyone's happy to be here.
It was a way for Peter to interpret the songs because he knew no one could hear the lyrics. And it was a sort of way of trying to get across some of the meaning of the lyrics and some of the emotion the lyrics had, I think.
Started off by wearing things, you know, that would put him in the character of what he was singing about, and that developed out of all proportion with the Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, where he dressed up as the Slipper Man in this huge bulbous rubber outfit. Couldn't get a microphone anywhere near him. And at that point, I think we all thought this is probably as far as we'll go like this. And of course, I mean, he left. I wanted the situation where I could follow other interests and do other projects, you know, and obviously in a band, if you piss off down the road and do something else, you're affecting everyone else's income.
the sort of separateness from Peter Gabriel's point of view. I mean, he was literally working in one room on his own doing the lyrics, and the band were working in another. I didn't quite understand it at the time, but since I became a solo performer myself, I mean, I understand entirely. He found, you know, the band situation unworkable.
The way we react, because we're sort of a bit bloody-minded really, was the fact that we'd want to obviously show everyone that we could easily do it without him. I mean, it's not to underestimate what he did or anything, but we knew that the band was 5 distinct people who were kind of equally important to the final result, really. You took one away, it should be possible to make up for it, or replace him, whichever we decided to do.
I've been waiting here so long. I don't decide to pass me by. It doesn't seem to matter now. Stand there with your recognition now. Pass me down to all I have to say. Why don't you touch me? Touch me. Why don't you touch me? Touch me. Touch me now. 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 Now.
A lot of singers came down, we listened to tapes and stuff, and every time they came down, Phil would run through the song and sing it to them, show them how to do it. And kind of every time, he sounded better than them.
Stay with me, my love. I hope you'll always be right here by my side. If ever I need you, oh my love.
I was going to sing some songs on the album anyway, softer songs, and then it just sort of happened, you know. One guy tried out in the studio a bit on a squonk song. That didn't work, and then Phil sang the album, we were very pleased with it.
It seemed to me that the theatrical side was becoming slightly more important in terms of getting a song across than the actual music. And so I actually sort of said to myself, and I think I mentioned it to the guys, you know, I'll just stand there and sing.
For 5 years, I think I've been looking up there and seeing Peter every time I looked up, and you know, he had a certain confidence in what he could do, and I thought it was full up there, you know. And but it was really halfway through that first show that I realised it was going to work. It felt right. The audience wanted to like him because he come from that was the main thing. They wanted to like him because he was a band member already.
What is strange though is that it's 16 years since Peter left, is that people still refer to it as only yesterday, the old fans, as if he's the singer and I'm still the replacement.
Like the dust that settles all around me, I must find a new home.
It was a 2-year battle within myself. I thought, shall I, shan't I? Am I developing within the group? Are enough of my songs being done by the group? And the answer to that was no.
There's a reason why we're a three-piece now, I think. When there were 5 of us, it was kind of hard to fit everyone's ideas in. There wasn't room, you know. With the 3 of us, I kind of feel we got a lot of space, a lot of room to move, which is nice.
Stay with me, just one single tear.
think probably was our 19th attempt to single. I just think when we'd written it, we really thought it was a strong song, you know, really had that, just that quality that could make it sort of reach out. It was very important for us, I think, because it widened our audience.
There must be some misunderstanding. There must be some kind of mistake. Turn it on, turn it on again. No reply. There's no reply at all. You're never there. When you show it, you start to stare. Our cat isn't anywhere. Our cat. Why does it always seem to be me looking at you, you looking at me? It's always the same. It's just a shame. That's all. You know I love you, but I just can't take this. You know I love you, but I'm playing for keeps. Although I need you, I'm not gonna make this. You know I want to, but I'm in too deep. Just throwing it all away, throwing it all away. She sees the hat, is it on top shelf? She reaches in and grabs right hold of your heart. She sees the hat, is it on top shelf? It takes control and slowly tears you apart. 'Cause tonight, 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 I'm gonna make it right. Tonight, tonight, tonight.
For us, it's always our favourite video because we didn't went in it. The easiest video to make ever, and I think we're all very pleased. Actually won a Grammy
Yeah, it's the only Grammy we've ever won.
by not being in it.
Yeah.
It's probably the answer.
We're moving into the street.
I've heard that my nose was a lot bigger than it really was. I had talk about a 4-foot nose.
They say the danger's gone away.
On the one of me, I mean, I just haven't really got sort of enough to kind of do much with, so they just sort of, you know, expanded everything a bit.
Burning into the night.
I Can't Dance, I think, is probably one of our, so has some of our finest moments, definitely. It was great fun to make. I mean, as soon as we actually had the ideas for the lyrics, which came pretty much as soon as we had the idea for the song, we knew what we'd be doing. And it's basically a spoof on jeans commercials.
Blue jeans sit on the beach. Her dog's talking to me, but she's out of reach.
It's about the idea that these chiseled hunks that you see on jeans commercials might look good, but can they do anything else? They certainly can't dance.
'Cause I can dance, I can talk.
Someone asked me, in all seriousness, who choreographed it. They thought someone came in actually. It was a poor writer. They sort of came in and did this.
Bob Giraldi.
And I thought they were kidding, but they were serious.
I'm just standing here selling, oh, and checking everything is in place. You never know who's looking on. You.
When we finished the album, the first thing to do is to look at the song titles and see what might make a half-decent album title. And we kind of liked it because it's a bit of a humorous line. We can't dance, it's not our kind of music.
I dance not very well for very short periods of time. See, the thing about Genesis is that we're like a team, like a happy family.
Oh, I do all the writing.
I do all the writing.
Yes, the good stuff. I write all the good stuff.
It's the same process we used for the last 2 or 3 albums, which I think people sometimes find difficult to appreciate. But we go into the studio and we try really to take nothing in with us, nothing we've previously written or anything. And so everything that comes out of the studio is stuff that we improvise on the spot.
three of us know each other so well. That's why I think one of the reasons anyway, that we've never sort of thought about getting other people in, because we do know each other so well. It doesn't matter if it's awful, because out of that awfulness comes something that's not quite so awful.
They say that time is a healer, and now my wounds are not the same.
The song's about a boy who leaves home, and you're not quite sure whether he's being the abused or whether his mother is being abused. But basically, father's a bit of a bastard.
He sat me down to talk to me. He looked me straight in the eyes. He said, "You know, son of mine."
It wasn't an intentional lyric in that sense, because it just really Phil started singing something on the chorus. And I think actually it just sounded like No Son of Mine. I'm not sure he was singing that. But it's, that phrase sounds so comfortable, that vocal phrase. So that started the idea for the lyric, really.
The Lord spoke to me. He said, stretch forth your hand. Tell the people to put their hands against yours.
The second song on the album, Jesus He Knows Me, is a real dig at a TV evangelist, you know, in a very humorous way. There's people that think because they believe in religion that everything they do is right.
On the cover of the magazine, there's no question why I'm smiling. You buy a piece of paradise, you buy a piece of me.
We actually always felt that it was tailor-made for a very funny video. The three of us dressing up as very dodgy TV evangelists.
Me to believe in hereafter, just believe in me. 'Cause Jesus, he knows me, and he knows I'm right. I've been talking to Jesus all my life. Oh, yes, he knows me, and he knows I'm right. And he's been telling me everything is all right. Now you can find me in the phone book. Just call my toll-free number. You can do it any way you want. Just do it right away. There'll be no doubt in your mind. Y'all believe everything I'm saying. If you want to get closer to head, get on your knees and start playing.
We've always thought very visually, you know, right from when we first started playing live. I mean, you know, I think we're one of the first groups to think in visual terms, you know, and ever since then we've always taken a great deal of care about the way it looks.
Sit down, sit down, sit down. Sit down as we live our lives in what we tell you.
It's big, but in being big, it's actually been designed to actually focus more on the band.
Light on the windows, millions of ordinary people out there. They gaze at the scenery. Hey, I taste it is perfectly clear.
When you go and see bands at these outdoor gigs, they've got these big screens either side. You don't know whether to look at them or the stage, and there's an awful lot going on, you know. The whole thing is focused much more centrally around the groups.
You've got to work the whole thing out so that when you do something that you feel that one part of the audience is going to perhaps find a little less interesting, you try and come back with something they will find more interesting.
All I need is a TV show. Right on the radio. Down on my luck again. Down on my luck again.
Turn It On Again has been sort of one of the things we've done ever since we recorded the song. It's been kind of an important song on the set. Many times been the encore.
Turn it on, turn it on again. Turn it on, turn it on. Turn it on, turn it on again.
There is some sort of thread that runs through it, that, you know, regardless of the changes that have occurred, there is something, if you like the new album, there's quite a good chance you will like some of the earlier stuff.
Well, it's 1 o'clock and it's time for lunch. Dum-dee-dum-dee-dum. When the sun beats down and I lie on me bench, I can always hear them talk.
There's probably maybe a bit more chance of people listening to what we're doing now going back and hearing the earlier stuff and liking it than there is of some of the earlier fans liking what we do now.
Then Mr. Lewis, well, isn't it time that he was out on his own? What with the garden wall, so little love thirst, cuckoo to you, keeping them a mowing break shop.
It's a natural thing to want everybody to like you. There's this image that, you know, if you've been going for a long time,
what you do is not so valuable. And I find it very weird in any other kind of art form, you know, writers, painters, as they develop and mature, they're not only respected more sometimes, but they sort of, people appreciate their history. And I think at the moment in rock, it's weird because they haven't learnt to appreciate any kind of history.
We actually get on better now than we ever have done. And that's probably been true pretty much, you know, if you took any year and compared that to when we started. It's just, we actually get on better. And I think a lot of people in bands, it gets worse. You know, I think everybody digs themselves into their own holes with their egos.
Holy Mother, God, you got to go faster than that to get to the top. Dirty old mountain, no covered in smoke. She can turn you to stone. You better start doing it right. Yes, you better start doing it right. All right.
I don't think we look very much backwards or forwards, really. I think you very much kind of take each year as it comes, really, and you try and do the best you can in that year, you know, rather than looking at the back stuff, you know, or even looking too far ahead.
Halfway up, you're halfway down. The pack on your back keeps turning you around. Throw it away, you won't need it up there. But remember, you don't look back. Whatever you do, you should better start doing it right.
Well, in musical terms, I don't know, you don't really get that, I don't think. One of those dreams where you keep running. For me, I mean, I think the day you think you've done it all and you've fulfilled your dreams musically, I think that's when you stop.
Blazing hard, the molten